Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video our first calf of 2025 has arrived, and the first heifer of a long time has calved, and surprisingly she calved quite easily. And there's Junior herself. Yeah, a nice little calf, healthy, motoring. Lovely. Okay, so let's get into the facts and figures. So she was due on the 19th of January. She calved on the 17th of January in the morning by herself. Now I wasn't around, I was gone on a message, so the father had to take an hour off work just to let the whole procedure, make sure everything went okay and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, she was due on the 19th, she calved on the 17th in the morning time by herself for a first time heifer, and the calf isn't overly hectic, too big either, so it was easy enough for her, thank God. There was no pulling at her or anything of that nature, no jack needed. So the calf is a heifer, so a nice little replacement in a couple of years time, a year to 2 years, a year and a half maybe. A nice little replacement. Now we bulled her, the cow, with the Limousine 8929 bull. So that calf is out of a Limousine 8929 bull. So obviously the calf is a Limousine and the mother herself is a Limousine. I believe she could be out of the 2014 Limousine bull, so Limousine 2014. Now we did put her, or the father put her in this little crush here as usual, just so that we could spray iodine on the navel of the calf without having to worry about the cow coming after us and all that. So it was a safe environment to do all that sort of procedure. And as always, while we had the cow in the crush, and because he was sort of against the clock, he needed to get back to work and whatnot, he milked her. We got a bottle of milk out of her, and he fed the calf. So yeah, we put just I think about maybe a litre or just under a litre of milk into the calf, and I assume she drank it all. So yeah, cow was in there while we were putting the iodine, and we fed the bottle of milk to her as well. And then we let her back out with the calf. Now another thing you might have seen is there's a bar going across the wall there, and it's the same situation in there as well. So here's a closer look. And here's this side. So you might be wondering what that bar is actually for, and that's basically to stop the cow from lying on the calf's straw. Now I know some people in the comments say, why don't we put bedding or straw underneath the cow? It's because the cow is lying on the black mats. There's 3 mats going across the back wall there, and that corner is always being designated for the calf, so we've always put a bit of straw in that corner for the calf to lie on. But sometimes the cow would lie on it herself, and then sometimes the calf could be lying on the concrete floor, or could be lying on the black mat here. The calf could be lying anywhere but where we want him, on the straw in the corner. So me and the father one day, basically before we moved her from the slats into the pen, we decided to fabricate this pole across the wall. Now I might go into further detail about that in another video, but it's basically just to stop the cow from either lying on the straw, so the calf isn't able to, and another reason is it'll also help stop the cow from flittering the straw about the place, because usually cows, heifers, whatever, tend to get a bit excited at an odd time when the straw, and just absolutely have the straw all over the pen, flittered. So that bar is to keep it somewhat in the corner itself. It'll make it harder for her to flitter around the place, so then the straw remains there for the calf to lie on. And obviously as well, to stop the cow from lying on the straw when we want the calf to be lying on the straw. So yeah, and the cow obviously has the rubber mats. There's one mat there, another mat in the middle, and the third one going out that way as well. So there's 3 there. There's plenty of room and comfort for her to lie on. There's nothing wrong with a cow lying on rubber mats, because there's obviously a new tin out there now where you can get the rubber mats to stick onto your slats. Obviously our slats need replacing this year, so we'll have to get them replaced, and then maybe I might coax the father to get the rubber on the slats as well. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with a cow lying on rubber mats like that, cow mats, whatever you want to call them. It's totally animal friendly and all that. So we just like to have a bed of straw under the calf to keep the calf sort of comfortable and to keep the calf warm, especially at a very young age when their immune system and all that isn't as strong as an older calf or a cow or a heifer or a bull or a bullock or anything like that. So just to keep the calf sort of warm, dry and comfortable at its young age. And she'll be in this little pen probably for a week or 2 until the calf is somewhat done enough, and then we'll probably put her out here with the black cow and calf, who calved just after Christmas, St. Stephen's Day she calved. So we'll probably extend the skate out a little bit more, and there should be enough room in there then for the 2 cows. And obviously the calves will have their little calf creep in at the back there that will always be cleaned out. And whether or not you can see it, there is straw in there for the calf. Oh jeez. There is straw in there for the calf as well, in the calf creep. So, and that gets cleaned out every day to every other day. So either every day or every 2 days. That gets cleaned out depending on how dirty it is. Obviously one calf isn't going to dirty it that much, so it might be every 2 days, and even at that it wouldn't be a whole lot of cleaning in there anyways, very little. But yeah, the calf is able to suck the cow, or the cow, or she's not a heifer anymore, she's a cow, but she's able to suck the cow herself as well. She's getting milk and looking fairly healthy and lively, which is the main thing. And a heifer as well, which is nice. We've had a lot of heifers between last year and, you know, I can't remember what that was, and maybe it was a heifer, but a lot of these calves here are heifers. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are bulls, but they all calved between the start of 2024 all the way to maybe about August, September time was the last ones they calved. So they're obviously being weaned from the cows to dry the cows off so we can bull them again at some point. But yeah, and that cat, we thought, because that, when she was a heifer, before she calved, she was the biggest out of the 3 heifers that were in calf. The 3 heifers here, those 3, there's a gate separating them because we're beefing them up to sell in the mart, and then some farmer then might feed them something else and beef them up a bit more and get them gone. But we separated them anyways. The 3 of them was in calf, and obviously she was on the slats with them as well, but she, out of them 2, was the biggest. She was hefty. So whether or not the camera is picking it up, she's looking a bit big as well, and this one maybe not so much. I don't know whether the udders, the bags, are full of milk or not, or filling, but she has plenty of milk. We put her out a week before her due date, because we thought, well, she was a heifer, and sometimes, more often than not, heifers that we found anyways on our farm, heifers tend to maybe bring a couple of days before their due date, and we thought she'd bring a lot more than just, what was it, 2 days in between her due date and when she calved. It was only 2 days before her due date. So we thought she might bring at least maybe 5 to 7 days on with her, a week. So we basically put her out here well before her due time, in fear that she would calve well before her due time. But yeah, she did calve before her due time, but not, it was a shorter gap than what we were expecting. So obviously cows, so like those cows that had them calves last year, and most recently this cow, they brought a couple of days past their due date, so they calved after their due date. A lot of them cows as well, when they were calving with them over there. But the heifer out here calved 2 days before her due date, which is not too bad. And it'll probably be maybe a similar situation with the 2 heifers out here, because there'll be 2 first-time heifers as well. When they do start calving, they might bring a couple of days before their due date. So yeah, I think the next one up is the white one in February, and then the black one is in March, and then we have this mousy coloured one here then in April. So yeah, and that's basically it. We have no one else bulled yet. We'd start bulling them, so they'd be calving, but there'd be 2 of them going. So the only ones we'll be bulling is this other mousy one and this one here. We'd be bulling them, that they'll either be calving in November to December of this year, 2025, or January, February, March, and maybe April at the latest of next year, 2026. So we'll be calving them, we'll be bulling them in months, in a month, where in 9 months time when they start calving, it'll be in one of them months that I mentioned there. So yeah, but we have a couple of months before the cow calves. We'll be keeping a close eye on the heifers. They're all bulled with the same bull as her, the Limousine 8929, and I don't know what she's bulled with, but yeah, if she, hopefully, because she calved by herself, but you know, she was a fairly hefty heifer when she did calf. She was a lot more heavier than the ones out there, but we're hoping, fingers crossed, that our other 2 heifers will calve with ease, just like this one here. But yeah, Calf is happy out, and he has his own little makeshift calf creep or VIP lounge, so the cow isn't bothering her. But yeah, I guess that is going to be it. A nice start to the new year, 2025, and a good heifer calf, another heifer calf. We're blessed with heifer calves, and obviously if it was a bull calf, we would probably clam the bull at a relatively young age, maybe around a year old or whatever, a year and a half, turn them into bullocks, feed them, beef them up, and then obviously sell them in the mart. And if it's a heifer, we do try and bull them and use them as replacements. But if anything happens like this year, where we found it hard to get these in calf, obviously a lot of them repeated several times. If we find that any of them newborn calves down the road, we find it hard to keep them in calf and to keep repeating, they'll end up in a similar situation as these lot here. So yeah, but it's probably going to be a very quiet calving season for us this year. Obviously the last cow that's in calf that's due is in April, and then we have 2 that aren't in calf yet, but hopefully they'll be calving either the end of this year or the start of next year. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.